Welcome to the Explainer. So you thought you finally got the hang of AI? Well, the ground is shifting under our feet again. Today, we're going to look at the breakthroughs that are already making some of the hottest AI skills, well, kind of obsolete.
All right, let's just dive right in with a pretty provocative question that's been bubbling up in the AI world. Is that one skill that everyone, and I mean everyone, rushed to learn, prompt engineering, already on its way out?
The short answer, yeah, pretty much. And to get why, we have to understand that the whole way we talk to AI is going through this massive, fundamental shift. We're moving way beyond simple commands and into a totally new way of working with them.
Think about it like this. Prompt engineering is like giving a single one-off command. It's just for that moment. But context engineering, that's totally different. It's like giving the AI an entire rulebook to live by, a permanent framework that shapes every single thing it does from then on.
So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, there's this fantastic analogy floating around that just makes the whole thing click.
And right there, that completely changes the game. See, it's not about asking the perfect question anymore. It's about building that kung fu file, the entire library of knowledge, and just uploading it straight into the AI's brain.
The core idea here is that we stop teaching the AI one little kick or one little punch at a time. Instead, we're giving it the whole martial art, all at once. And that's what lets it handle things that are way more complex and nuanced. Okay, but giving an AI all this knowledge is really only one piece of the puzzle. The next giant challenge is figuring out how to make it smarter and safer and just better. And how do you do that at a massive scale?
So for a while now, the go-to method for training AI has been something called RLAIF, or Reinforcement Learning from Human Feedback. Basically, you have thousands of people sitting there telling an AI good answer or bad answer. And look, it works, but it is incredibly slow and super expensive. It's become this huge bottleneck that's really holding AI back.
So researchers had this brilliant idea. What if we use an AI to train another AI? The old way, RLHF, was totally dependent on slow, expensive humans. The new way, called RLAIF, just replaces that human with another powerful AI. And boom, you've got a scalable self-improvement loop. And the results are, well, they're pretty striking. When they trained an AI to give harmless responses, the model trained by humans, it scored a 76%. The model trained by the other AI, it scored an 88%. Turns out AI can actually be a better, more consistent teacher than we are. Let that sink in for a second. 88% harmlessness. This proves that not only can AI train other AIs, but it can actually build safer, more aligned systems in the process. And it can do it at a scale that humans could just never ever match. Okay, so now we have AIs that can be given a deep, rich context and they can train themselves to get better. The final piece of this puzzle is giving them a better brain, specifically a better memory, so they can instantly recall and use all that amazing information. You know, for an AI to handle really complex tasks, it needs a memory that is just lightning fast. A standard AI system might take over 120,000 microseconds to find one piece of info out of a million. But a new system called AMEM, it does it in just 3.7. I mean, that's the difference between waiting for a web page to load and just knowing instantly. And no, that is not a typo. It is a mind-boggling 32,000 times faster. This isn't some small incremental improvement. It's a revolutionary change in the architecture that unlocks the potential for truly powerful autonomous AI agents. So let's put all the pieces together. What does the future actually look like when you combine these three massive breakthroughs: context, self-training, and instant memory?
We've seen these three huge shifts happening. First, we're going from one-off prompts to this idea of persistent context. Second, we're moving away from slow human feedback to scalable AI feedback, which creates this amazing self-improvement loop. And third, we're going from slow, clunky memory to instantaneous recall. This all points to a future of what people are calling agentic AIs, systems that can understand a huge knowledge base, constantly improve themselves, and act on tons of information in real time. And this brings us to one last huge question. When you have systems that can be given their own world of knowledge, that can teach themselves how to be better, and can remember everything instantly, what comes next? Are we on the verge of truly autonomous assistants, creative partners, or something else entirely? That's the question that's going to define the entire next chapter of AI.